안녕하세요. 갬블러 스토리입니다. 포커 선수들은 상대방의 패를 도대체 어떻게 알아맞추는 것일까요? 포커 방송을 보다 보면 상대방의 얼굴을 째려보거나 그런 장면들이 많이 연출되고는 하는데 상대방의 눈동자나 표정을 보면서 패를 알아맞추는 게 아니라 실제로는 상대방이 플레이하는 방식을 보면서 논리적, 연역적으로 상대방의 패를 추론하는 것입니다.
On.
Any shoves?
I fold, but did you have ace king? You know what I think he's got? Aces.
오늘은 다니엘 니그리언니와 함께 상대방의 패를 어떻게 알아맞추는지 그 부분에 대한 개념을 하나하나 알아보기로 하겠습니다.
If you're one of the younger generation, you've probably already put in a lot of work using, sort of combinatrix and range charts. But I think for a lot of players who maybe, were poker fans or players during the era of 2004 to 2010, this is all stuff that's going to be, for the most part, pretty new to you.
카드 매트릭스와 레인지 차트는 프리플랍에서 포지션, 자리에 따라서 어떤 패로 플레이하고 어떤 패로 플레이하지 말아야 하는지에 대한 포커의 정석 같은 것인데요. 기회가 되면 디테일하게 나중에 다뤄보기로 하고요. 니그리안유가 여기서 2010년 이전의 포커 팬들과 그 이후의 포커 팬들을 구분하는 이유는 2010년 이후에 포커를 접한 사람들은 대부분 온라인 포커를 하고 있습니다. 기본적으로 온라인에서 플레이하는 사람들은 이러한 핸드레인지 개념들을 다 알고 플레이한다고 생각을 하시면 좋을 것 같아요. 그래서 니그리안유가 이렇게 포커 세대를 나눠놓은 것이고요.
What I want to do here is familiarize yourself and help to familiarize you a little bit more with the idea behind ranges.
핸드레인지는 뭐냐면 상대방이 혹은 내가 가지고 있을 수 있는 패의 범위를 말합니다. 보통 포커 플레이어들은 상대방이 어떤 특정 패를 갖고 있겠지가 아니라 여러 가지 경우의 수를 두면서 이거 아니면 저거를 들고 있을 수 있겠다 이런 방식으로 생각을 하는데 이걸 핸드레인지, 상대방이 가지고 있을 수 있는 패의 경우의 수 정도로 생각하면 좋을 것 같아요.
So for example, if I raised under the gun and a very tight player to my left re-raised me in second position, I would think like, okay, well, this guy either has aces, kings, queens, or ace king. Okay, which we're going to actually really break down this specific situation. And you raise under the gun, player three bets you from under the gun +1. Many players existed where their range was simply queens, kings, aces, or ace king. That means basically those are the only hands they would do that with. Every other hand, they would flat call or fold. So like ace queen, they're going to flat, jacks, tens, they're going to flat, right? So now let's say you're sitting there with jacks specifically. And now the flop comes 8-5 deuce. Well, there is also a certain number of players who are always betting over pairs and checking back when they don't have an overpair. Because obviously I raise under the gun, which is a strong position, and I call the re-raise. So typically in this spot, what players would do would be, is if they had the aces, kings, or the queens, they would bet, and if they had the ace, king, they would check. So essentially, this was like, the person's range was exactly one hand, which was ace, king. Well, so obviously, these types of players are not what you're going to find in most tournaments or cash games. People have a much wider range of hands that they're going to re-raise with, some suited connectors, but there was a time when there were plenty of players that fit right into this category, and it was very easy to have, they would have such a narrow range before the flop and a 3-bet pot in the situation, then their bet would dictate even more, closely exactly what that range would. And the check specifically represented exactly one combination of hands, and that was always ace king. So you could play accordingly with your jacks by simply calling the raise pre-flop, and then on the 8-5 deuce flop, check folding, I'm not kidding, check folding to a lot of these players, whereas if they check back, your jacks are good, provided an ace or a king doesn't hit the turn or river. Poker used to be, or at its elementary level, it was like, the thought process is what is my hand versus what is their hand? Like simple, hand versus hand. Then that developed into, what is my hand, because you know what you have, versus the entire range of hands your opponent could have, and then you play accordingly from there. Well, that evolved even further to understanding in certain situations, playing my range against my opponent's range. And this is going to be really important if you really want to get to the sophisticated level of playing this game at a high level, because you have to be very cognizant of what your range can and cannot entail, or what it's weighted to or what it's not. Because against really smart opponents, in certain situations, if you're trying to make a bluff or trying to make a move, they'll understand that based on the way you play the hand pre-flop and on the flop, it doesn't add up. The story doesn't, hold true, if you will. There's going to be some flops or some boards where one player is just going to have what's called a range advantage. And essentially what that means is, one player is more likely to have a stronger hand in a certain situation. So for example, if under the gun player raises and the big blind calls and the flop comes ace 7 deuce rainbow, well, the player with the range advantage there would be the under the gun player, because a big percentage of the range of hands that the under the gun player is going to play is going to contain an ace. Whereas the big blind, especially if there's antes, is going to be priced in to play a lot more like 6-8s, 5-6, and garbage hands. So in this situation, it's important for the under the gun player, whether he has the ace or not, to understand that he has a range advantage. So even if you do have something like 10 jack suited, you should still often be betting here because you simply have more hands in your range that are going to connect with that flop than the big blind.
언더더건 자리에서 에이스가 높은 이유는 언더더건이 앞자리에 있는 포지션이기 때문에 상대적으로 에이스 킹, 에이스 퀸 같은 강한 핸드로 플레이를 합니다. 그래서 언더더건의 핸드 레인지에 에이스를 가지고 있을 확률이 높지만 빅블라인드는 프리플랍에서는 제일 뒷자리이기 때문에 상대적으로 약한 핸드, 6, 8, 5, 8 같은 핸드로도 콜을 할 수 있기 때문에 플레이하는 핸드 레인지가 좀 더 넓다고 볼 수가 있어요. 그래서 레인지 어드밴티지 자체가 언더더건 자리에 있는 사람이 에이스를 들고 있을 확률이 더 높다라고 보는 것입니다.
So let's say, for example, you opened, the player's gone all in, and you're sitting there with jacks. Well, there's obviously other considerations, like what stage you are in the tournament. We can count the combinations of cards or hands that the player could have that beat us versus the ones that don't. So, for example, what is the one that we're ahead of, if you will? Well, we're ahead of ace-king only, right? Because we're behind aces, kings, or queens. Well, how many combinations of ace-king are there? All right, so you got one ace plays with 4 kings, you got another ace plays with 4 kings, another ace with 4 kings, another ace with 4 kings. 16 combinations of ace-king that your opponent could have if this is the range that you put them on. Well, how many combinations of aces, kings, and queens are there? Well, the simple way to do that is figure out how many combinations of a pair could there be. Well, a pair of aces, how many combinations of aces could there be, right? Well, I mean, you do the math here. You got ace of spades, ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, ace of hearts, that's 3. Then you got the next 2, and then you got 1. So 6 combinations per pair. So now, if you're in this situation, you're looking at 18 combinations that have you destroyed, where he's got aces, kings, or queens, and then 16 combinations where you're actually ahead. So it's pretty close. But of course, you have to factor in the fact that, like, when you are going to play against that range, you're in some trouble, because the ace king is still going to beat you a really significant part of the time. We call it a coin flip for a reason, because it's close to a coin flip. So 16 times you'll be in a coin flip situation. 18 times you're going to be a 4-to-1 dog. So if you did put your opponent on a range like that, it would probably be, especially in a tournament, unless they're very short on chips, chances are you should still probably fold the jacks.
콤보 수를 계산하는 것은 에이스가 스페이드, 다이아, 하트, 클로버 이렇게 4장의 모양이 있고 K도 마찬가지로 4장의 모양이 있잖아요. 그래서 상대가 에이스 킹이라고 가정을 한다면 상대가 에이스 킹을 갖고 있으려면은 에이스와 킹의 조합으로 만들어지는데, 예를 들어 에이스 스페이드 한 장과 나머지 K 4장 이렇게 돼서 4콤보가 되는 것이고, 에이스 다이아몬드 한 장과 나머지 K 이렇게 또 4콤보, 이런 식으로 에이스 킹은 총 16개의 조합, 즉 16개의 콤보라고 얘기하는 것입니다. 그래서 우리가 JJ 잭포켓을 들고 있을 때 상대방이 에이스 킹 킹 퀸 퀸 에이스 킹이라고 상대방의 핸드 레인지를 가정한다면 우리가 이길 확률이 16콤보가 50%의 확률이고 18콤보가 25%의 확률이잖아요. 그래서 이걸 합치면 우리의 잭이 상대방의 핸드 레인지를 상대로 이길 확률이 대략 36% 정도로 나옵니다. 그렇기 때문에 이미 지고 있는 확률이기 때문에 잭포켓으로는 폴드하는 게 낫다라고 보는 거죠. 아무튼 오늘은 핸드 레인지는 뭐고 상대방의 패를 어떻게 유추할 수 있는 건지 기본적인 개념을 살펴봤는데요. 이러한 개념들을 조금 알고 있으면 포커 방송을 보다가도 좀 더 재밌게 볼 수가 있고, 포커를 플레이할 때 있어서도 좀 더 나은 플레이를 할 수 있다고 생각됩니다. 오늘도 영상을 봐주신 분들 감사드립니다. 안녕히 계세요.